Hi guys. So for tomorrow we are going to have a panel discussion. So hoping for the best and wish us luck for tomorrow, okay?
Last one. Bye bye guys. Don't
Bye.
forget to like.
And subscribe.
Can you hear the whispers all across the room? You feel their eyes all over you like cheap perfume. You're beautiful, but misunderstood. So why you trying to be just like the neighborhood? I can
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome for today's panel discussion. Today, we will talk about generic contact lens versus prescribed contact lens. My name is Nur Shukriya binti Abdullah. I am the chairman for today, and I will introduce you the panelists for this panel discussion. Firstly, I will introduce you the optometrist, Madam Nurin Maidah binti Mashran. Secondly, the representative of contact lens manufacturer, Madam Numazlisha binti Abdul Halim. Not to be forgotten, Dr. Nurul Aina Shafiqa binti Muhammad Said as the ophthalmologist in this panel discussion. And last but not least, the victim, Mr. Muhammad Izwan Asharaf bin Misro. And it is a great pleasure both to participate in this panel discussion with our guests and to welcome you to this event. As we all know, the lens is used for vision correction, treatment, and as a vision aid. Its function is similar to glasses, but the contact lens is placed directly onto the eye cornea. The lens is much lighter. Now, the use of a diversified lens is not only limited to vision correction, but also for a cosmetic purpose. But one thing that we must remember, that beauty comes along with the consequences. Okay, as we all know that behind a great company, there must be a great worker. So today, we present to you the representative of the contact lens manufacturer, Madam Mazlisha. So I would like to ask Madam Mazlisha how the contact lens is made in the factory, which means the technique and the type of contact lens that made in the factory.
Okay, thank you. Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Mazlisha and I am glad to be here today to thank you for inviting me for this panel discussion to talk about the contact lens. So as I am going to answer the panel, the moderator. So firstly, I'm going to talk for the contact lens company. We manufacture many kind of contact lens. We got three major contact lens that used widely. So firstly, this is the most used by many people. It is a soft contact lens. This soft contact lens is made up from a thin silicone, or we call as a hydrophilic plastic, and it is the material we use to make this soft contact lens. It can stay moist and soft in the contact lens as it absorbs a lot of water in the atmosphere. And then secondly, we got the RGP contact lens, which is abbreviated from rigid gas permeable contact lens, or also known as hard contact lens. It wasn't really hard actually. It's also made from a plastic, but it transmits oxygen gas without absorbing the water. So in the surface of the RGP contact lens, there are microscopic holes that able to oxygen to filter through. And the material that make up this RGP contact lens is acrylate, silicone, and fluorine. So last but not least, we got the hybrid contact lens. This is a rare one, as hybrid contact lens actually a combination of soft contact lens and the RGP contact lens. And the center of the hybrid contact lens is made up from the material from RGP contact lens, which is acrylate, silicone, and fluorine. And the edge of the contact lens is made up from the soft contact lens material, which is silicone. So as we're going to go for the technique we use in making this contact lens, the technique used are same for both generic and prescribed, as we got two kind of technique we use. So firstly, we got injection molding. Through this injection molding process, we're going to heat up the material of contact lens at the molten state, and we're going to put it under pressure. So after it is put under pressure, then it's going to be cooled down and removed from the mold. And after it, we're going to polish the edge and to make it a smooth surface and make it and hydrate it. So for the next part is the important part, which is we undergo the quality assurance testing, which is to ensure the quality of our contact lens is the best for the consumer. And secondly, we also got the technique, which is we call as the left cutting process. Through this process, we're going to inject this material of making contact lens, going to mounting on a spinning shaft, and it's going to be shaped on the computer cutting tools, which is a technology we use nowadays. And after we cut, and we're going to remove from the left, and we're going to hydrate it to soften it. And then after the process, surely we're going to undergo the quality assurance testing for one time again. Okay, and then I could conclude that most of the contact lens nowadays is made up from the molding techniques rather than the lens cutting technique, as it is much more cheaper and it's the best for us to use it.
Okay, so Madam Altisha, I have another question. What is the difference between the generic contact lens and the prescribed contact lens? Because we all know generic contact lens isn't illegal here in Malaysia.
So I would like to answer the question. So it is actually based on the technique. We use the same technique for both prescribed and the generic contact lens. But what I can say is prescribed is much more better because it's going to depend on your eyes. If you seek for help, medical check, or you're going to know what the structure of your eyes and what is the best for you. So we as the manufacturer going to manufacture to produce a contact lens that is the best for the consumer. So just like we got 3 kind of contact lens with 3 different water contained. So as for the one with sensitive eye, we're going to go with up to 90% of water contained, as we're going to avoid from the dry eye.
So what I can conclude from Madam Aziza said just now is the technologies in this field is rapidly developed to help the user that ensure to smoothen their life every day. Okay, so let's proceed towards our contact lens victim, Mr. Izwan. Okay, so Mr. Izwan, can you please tell us the experience when you are experiencing the black episode with the generic contact lens?
So, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to everyone and to the audience, to the moderator and to the panelists. And I am one of the victim of the contact lens wearer. First and foremost, it is such a pleasure for me to be here to be part in this discussion, because I can give awareness towards the society about the method you need to have when you are wearing a contact lens and the consequence and the profit of the wearing contact lens based on my very own experience. So this is all start when I start wearing a contact lens, because I think it's much convenience for me to wear a contact lens because I am a company employee. So for the whole day I have to sit in front of a desk and up front a computer. So it's much more comfortable and convenience for me to wear a contact lens rather than spectacles. And one day I go for a bath with a contact lens on. This is due to there's no one ever warned me that it is a danger when you are bathing while you have a contact lens on your eyes. After that accident, I start to feel a little bit itchy and red irritation start to form on my eyes. At first, I thought it's just a normal thing when a dust get into your eyes, but it got worse as the day progressed. And then, when the time passed, I can feel that there's something on my eyes that is really painful for me, and I really can't describe the true feeling and the true condition of that situation. And then it's really affect my daily life because I can't do the work as productive as I always do. Then after that, I decided to go for a bed early, hoping for the best, and hopefully the next morning it will get better. But it's not. It's not as what I expect, and it's not as what I hopefully it will get. It go much worse, because when I woke up, I can feel like there's a bubble on my eyes, and it's really swollen and it's really painful as you can get. And after that, I decided to go to the local hospital. When I reached there, the doctor gave me a word which is some kind of a parasite infection, I think. And it is a common thing for the parasite to be found in a stagnant water. And after that accident also, I can feel that my eyes really become worse. Even thought that I consider a medicine and it's being too late because I already blind on the one eye. So it's really affect my life heavily because it's really the accident that is so. Even though for the other people, it's just a small thing. It just are blind on the one eye, but actually it's affect your not just your daily life, but also your social life. Because as you can see, people won't get near you. They won't approach you because they think this will affect them too. And after that, it's really get worse. And so that is for my experience as a victim. I think it's really affect the one's life, not just their daily and for the work, but also their social life. And this is, I hopefully, this awareness to the others will increase, and they will think twice or try for multiple times before they choose to wear a contact lens. And even if you choose to wear a contact lens, make sure you need to take care of it really properly. So that's it from me.
Oh, okay. So what I can conclude is we need to care for every single thing in your life so that our life will not be affected with our ignorance. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Izwan. Okay, so we will have our beauty brain ophthalmologist to explain briefly for us about the eye part and the disease that we may get if we do not follow the steps.
Okay. Hi and Assalamualaikum to everyone. Thank you to our beloved moderator for inviting me to this panel discussion and all the panelists. Okay. My name is Dr. Nuraina Shafika and I'm an ophthalmologist. Based on our victim's experience, Mr. Izwan, that we could know that he suffered from one of his eyes is blind. It is because of his eyes is being infection by the parasite that we can call it as Acanthamoeba keratitis. Acanthamoeba keratitis is the infection that can lead to corneal ulcer or blindness. Acanthamoeba keratitis occurs most often to contact lens wearers who do not properly taking care of their lenses, like Mr. Izwan said just now, that he wears the contact lens during taking bath. I'm not suggested to all contact lens wearers to wearing the contact lens for a long term because many probability can happen. We could know at the contact lens are many of bacteria, many of parasite, and many of germs inside the contact lens. So it's very dangerous for all contact lens wearers to wear the contact lens during taking bath or for a long term. And I would like to persuade all the contact lens wearers in the studio, all the contact lens wearers at contact lens wearers people out there for please handling your contact lens with care because our eyes that can't replace in naturally.
So, doctor, can I know what is the symptom of the infection that you just told us about?
Okay, thank you. It's such a good question because all contact lens wearers must know what the symptom. Okay, the symptom is firstly is sensitivity to eyes and excessive tearing. Secondly is blurred vision with eye redness and pain and sensation of having something in eye, and the last one is severe headache. And last but not least, let me explain more about the eye structure. Okay, so first and foremost is cornea. Cornea is the transparent structure at the front of the eye that cover the iris, pupil, and interior chamber. And the second one is lens. Lens is the transparent structure suspended behind the iris that helps to focus the light on retina. The next is the retina. Retina is the light sensitive layer of tissue that line at the back of the eyes, and the last one is iris. Iris
is the colored ring of tissue behind the cornea that regulate the amount of light sensitivity to the entering the eye by adjusting the size of pupil. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, so what I can say from Dr. Aina just now is that if any that there is anything wrong with our eyes, we need to consult our ophthalmologist. Do not be an ignorance towards our pain, even though it is just a small sharp pain. Do not take it as easy one because we did not know what is going to happen next. Okay. Okay, so Madam Noreen, the wise optometrist, can you please tell us on how they want to go for an eye examination and maybe some way for the patient to wear their lenses correctly?
Thank you to our moderator. Hi, Assalamualaikum and good morning to all the panelists, audience and our lovely moderator. First of all, I would like to say thank you for inviting me for this panel discussion. My name is Nurul Wahidah binti Mashuran and I am optometrist. Firstly, I would like to explain a little bit about eyes examination. Okay, there is a test that we call cover test. During a cover test, optometrist will ask you to focus on a small object. Then will cover each of your eyes securely, alternately while you stare at the stage. Then the test will repeat by looking at the near object. The next is we call refraction test. Optometrist will put instrument that we call phoropter in front of your eyes and show you a series of lens choice. Then it will compare of which of two lenses look clearer. The other than that, there is a slit lamp test. A slit lamp is a binocular microscope that optometrists use to examine the structure of your eyes under high magnification. So during the test, you need to put your forehead and your chin securely on in front of the instrument, and the optometrist will examining your structure of your eyes. Okay, to answer the second question from our moderator, some people didn't know how to wear the contact lens properly. So here I would like to explain how to explain the way to wear contact lens properly. Firstly, wash your hand with soap prior and to handling contact lens, and dry your hand with lint-free towel. Secondly, by using your right hand, gently hold your eyelid and with your one finger. Then move your contact lens toward your eyes steadily. The next is look upward as you place it on your eyes, and slowly release your eyelid and close your eyes for a moment to allow the contact lens settle.
So, madam, I have a question, which is, I don't want what happened to me will occur to the others, which is, can you give us the tips or methods of a good treatment of our contact lens?
Thank you, Mr. Izwan, for asking me a good question. First of all, we all know that our eyes is very sensitive, so we must take care our eyes properly. Okay, contact lens must be cleaned properly when removed or before you wear the contact lens. Then all contact lens case should be cleaned daily and replaced every 3 months. The next is the most important thing is never use contact lens solution, and make sure change the contact lens solution every time you use the contact lens. But you must use the contact lens solution that has been prescribed by optometrist. The next is the first thing that you must remember is wash your hand with antibacterial soap before and after you use the contact lens, because it will give many effect to your eyes. Other than that, You also do not share your contact lens to other people because it will damage your eyes, which is cornea. That's
Oh.
my
Okay. So now I'm going to explain about the way on how they are going to wear and care for their lenses. So maybe Madam Nurin, can you please tell us the risk factor if we didn't follow the step that you said just now?
Okay, thank you, Madam Shukriya. Okay, if you wear lenses daily as extended wear lenses, it will damage your cornea, which is it's very dangerous. Okay, then if you wear any types of contact lens overnight, it have a greater chance of developing infection of your eyes, which is your cornea. So make sure you wear the contact lens. Wear your contact lens not in long term. Okay. Also, your eyes it also will can lead to pink eyes, which is conjunctivitis that prove that you wear the contact lens in long term. Okay, that's all for me.
Thank you, Madam Nurin. Okay, so for your information, the audience, the contact lens is already gazetted as the medical device on 1 January 2018 due to Akta Peranti Perubatan 2012, Akta 737 on 7 November 2017. If you fail, you will be compound 200,000 ringgit or 3 years in prison or both if you fail to register your generic contact lens that been import, export or been sell. Okay, the conclusion for today is before we decide to put any contact lens, do not matter if it is a prescribed or generic contact lens, because without any knowledge on how to care what is the effect on our eyes if we neglect the step to consult, care and wear, the endless pain will affect our life quality as we need to suffer from our ignorance. Okay, so that is the end of our discussion today. I am Nur Shukriya as the representative of all of these panelists, and also me myself want to ask for forgiveness if there is anything wrong that we did without an intention or maybe with an intention. Signing off, thank you.